And let's define time as the duration between two events. It's one way we could define time. Yeah? So that's the duration between breakfast this morning and now, or breakfast this morning and breakfast tomorrow morning, or between dinner last night and dinner the previous night, etc. So it's always defined as a duration between two events. So let's start with that. Let's just take two events. For instance, let's take now as an event, something that is happening now, and the event when you arrived this morning in this apartment. So, and thought tells us there's a certain amount of time between these two events. So let's first of all find these two events. The current event is easy to find. It's our current experience. Yeah. So what about the event of arriving here this morning? Where is that now?
Well, it's a memory that's taking place now.
That's a memory, but we don't want to, which is a thought. We don't want to refer to a thought, but we want to refer to an event, the actual event. Where is that event now? Exactly. It isn't. So time is always measured between two events. If one of those events is now, we can find that one. But we can never find the other one. Now, sometimes it's between two events that we can't find. Breakfast this morning and breakfast tomorrow morning. We can't find either of those events. If we can't find either of those events, how are we going to measure the distance between them? We can't. That's one way of approaching it. The other way of approaching it, as we did earlier with Tim this morning, try to find time. In order for there to be time, there must be a past and a future. Have you ever found a past or a future in your experience? Have you ever actually experienced a past? I mean, now, try now, really try now to experience the past. We could all try this. It's not possible. Or the future. So the past is an idea, it's a concept. Nothing wrong with the concept. But when the concept is downgraded to a belief, in other words, when we believe that the concept refers to something that is real, that's what distinguishes a concept from a belief. Nothing wrong with a concept of time. It's a useful working model. But it becomes a belief when we think that the concept refers to something that we actually know or experience. Nobody has ever found a past or a future. We have when I say we, our culture in general, one of the fundamental ideas that we were speaking of earlier, these fundamental presumptions that we have as a world culture, is that there is time. Time is one of the kind of prerequisites of experience. And that time was here first. And that the past and the future are like these two vast spaces that extend infinitely in two directions, behind and in front of the now. And then the now is just kind of sandwiched between them. But those two vast spaces of the past and the future, they are not there. And really ponder the implications of that. The past is not there. The future, it's not there. It's never there. There just isn't a future. Really feel the implications of that. likewise the past. And feel the impact that that understanding has on now. See how the quality of the now changes when it is exposed to this understanding, the non-existence of the past or future. Now no longer seems to be this fleeting fraction of a moment. The present moment is just who has ever experienced a present moment? It's a kind of new age concept. So you're right when you said the now kind of loses its meaning. It's true that the now as a measurement of time, you're right, the now is nothing to do with time. We think that the now is just a very small, a little piece of time. It's not. The now has nothing to do with time. But because the now, what we call the now, which is this experience, is real. There's no doubt that this experience is real. Everybody knows that. Our experience is real. And experience is always now. But that has nothing to do with time. The now is not, it's not going anywhere. We're not progressing towards a future. Really feel that. We are not going anywhere. We're not slowly moving towards 5 o'clock this evening when the meeting's going to end. Gradually getting closer and closer to it. It is not there. 5 o'clock this evening is not there. It's never going to come. The now is not moving in time. It's not going anywhere. It hasn't come from anywhere. We're not going to die in the future. Take moments in your day to pause and feel the non-existence of the future. Really feel that you can start with a thought, but allow the thought to take you to the feeling. Start with an intellectual understanding. There is no past and future. That understanding by itself doesn't do much. Allow that thought to take you to the feeling and feel there is no future. And allow that feeling understanding to impact your present experience. Feel the impact it has on the way you're thinking, the way you're moving. For instance, do this while you're walking down the street. Yeah, you're walking down the street, and you don't have to stop walking. Feel deeply that there is no future. And be very sensitive to the way that feeling understanding impacts the way you move. It will have an impact on your body. It'll be felt at the visceral level. I'm not going to say any more about it because it's for each of us to discover. And I know we all know to a certain extent what another way to experiment with it is in relationship. If you're talking with someone, you have a relationship, a long-term relationship with a friend, either an intimate relationship or not. And again, you take this feeling understanding, there is no future, and allow that to impact the quality of your communication with that person. So that this understanding is not just a clever intellectual understanding, and it is I'm not meaning to put down intellectual understanding, to arrive at the conclusion, really to arrive at the understanding, there is no time, is a big understanding to arrive at. So I don't mean to put that down, but it's another thing altogether, to bring that understanding into your feelings, to feel it, not just to think it, and then to allow that feeling to impact your body, the way you move, and the way you relate, the way you act. this, and that is when you're doing something very mundane. Washing up. Again, take the thought, there is no time, allow it to lead you to the feeling, and see how, and you can't fake it, you really have to feel the non-existence of the future, and see the impact that has on the activity that you're undertaking. So those are three things. One, the way you move. Two, the way you relate. And three, the way you act. And they're just examples, but make up your own. The important thing is always to go to the feeling of the non-existent, and then do the same thing but without the past. You know? But very powerful in relation to people, to relationships. You meet someone that you have a long history with, perhaps a difficult history. You take the deep feeling understanding in this moment that there is no past. There never has been a past. That this meeting is totally free of a past or a future. Again, see the impact that has on the quality of friendship.
And that sort of happens spontaneously, because I've
Yes.
been with my husband for
Yes.
a very, very long time, and very often there's just this sort of an absolute newness and freshness.
Yes.
It's like, like it is just absolutely new.
Yes.
But that doesn't mean to say, that it's alive all the time.
Yes. You ask yourself, what is the... How does the feeling understanding that there is no past or future affect the quality of the now? It has a profound impact on it. And it takes some courage to live without a future or a past.
Yes.
And then, so take the past and the future away and feel how totally vulnerable you feel.
Yes.
How that you no longer feel propped up
Yes.
by your past and by your anticipation in the future. You feel how totally naked and vulnerable and exposed
Yes.
you feel without the twin supports of past and future.
I know.
And have the courage to stay there.
Yes, because what seems to be happening is that there's quite kind of very frequent kind of, that seems to just spontaneously happen fairly frequently. And then there's just a bit of fear, panic kicks
Yes,
in.
exactly. That's interesting. That the fear comes up, and the first impulse when that fear comes up is to reach in one of two directions, to the past or the future, in order to find security. But just don't do what the fear is telling you to do. Don't invest your security in the past or the future. Be courageous. Stay on that edge.
It is an edge.
And it is an edge. And allow the fear to come up, because that fear it's what you truly want, what you're truly seeking in the past and the future. The security that you're seeking in the past and the future actually lives just underneath that fear. We feel the fear and we think, oh, what I want is in the past and the future. We go to the past and the future, which buries the fear. We think we get what we want there, security and happiness. Of course, we know it's temporary. What we're truly seeking in the past and the future lives just underneath the fear that is provoked by this experiment. So it's very good when that fear comes up, but when it comes up, be courageous. Face it. Allow it to totally come in.
Because when it does come in, there's a tendency to find something to grasp.
Yes, and the something to grasp is always in the past and the future. And just resist that temptation. Don't do what the fear is telling you to do, which is to escape from it. What we truly want is not in the escape from the fear, it's on the other side of the fear, underneath the fear. There's no avoiding it. You have to go through it. There's no way around it.
There's no avoiding it.
Eventually there's no avoiding it, no.
The avoiding it is what's...
It's the avoiding it that is truly painful. It's the avoiding of the fear is worse than the fear itself.
Yes.
Put the microphone to your mouth, please.
You frighten me.
I don't mean to frighten you.
I mean, this fucking lost good luck.
He won't do it. Forget it.
A little bit of opposition to you now.